Hi, it's Danny Karon, your Lovable Lawyer, here with your quick shot of legal wellness. Today I'm at the Cleveland Clinic because we're not just talking about quick shots, we're talking about vaccination shots. So let's get right to it and answer the question that everybody wants answered. It is simply this: are compulsory vaccinations by the government legal? Well, the short answer is yes. There's no commentary, there's no opinion, there's no politics, there's nothing baked into that answer. It's simply yes. Here at your Lovable Lawyer, I like to make some shtick. I like to goof around, have some fun, teach some legal wellness, of course, but at bottom, this isn't an opinion site. It isn't a chat site. It's a law site. It's a consumer law site, but it's a law site. And we talk about the law, and there's some objectivity to the law. And the answer to that question, are compulsory vaccinations legal? The answer is yes. Let's talk about why, not simply that, because it riles up a lot of people. The first question to question to answer is, when we talk about the government, what government are we talking about? There's state government and federal government. We're talking about the state government. It derives, this authority derives from the 10th Amendment to the Bill of Rights to the U.S. Constitution, which allows the states to enforce and enact necessary laws. And that's why when it came to mask mandates a few months ago, you heard all this discussion about state mask mandates. There's no federal mask mandate. It's not a function of federal law. It's a function of state law. So now we know who's going to be doing it, if anyone. Fine, that's really the procedural, we'll call it, part of this discussion. Let's talk about the substantive part. What law makes it legal, or should I say not unconstitutional, for state governments to require vaccinations? Well, the law derives from a U.S. Supreme Court case back in 1905 called Jacobson versus Massachusetts. And that's the same law that formed the basis for a lot of the mask mandate discussion, because it had to do with what the government can and can't do in keeping with the Constitution. A few months ago, the discussion concerned masks. Now it involves vaccinations. Now, Jacobson versus Massachusetts. I got into that case along with my daughter a few months ago when the mask mandate issue was hot, when we wrote an essay on the not unconstitutionality or the permissibility or the legality or the constitutionality, call it what you'd like, of mask mandates. We published it with Columbia Law School. And we talked all about Jacobson versus Massachusetts, which, while old, is still invoked till this day to defend and explain why such a practice, this time involving vaccines, is not unconstitutional. So what was going on in the Jacobson case? Well, this back in 1905 was a problem involving another pandemic, or it wasn't a pandemic, it was more of an epidemic involving tuberculosis. No, it wasn't tuberculosis. Let me double check. It was, I will tell you, smallpox. Smallpox vaccinations in the city of Cambridge, and the government in Massachusetts wanted to require people in Cambridge to get vaccinated. Jacobson didn't like it, went to court, went up on appeal, and the U.S. Supreme Court said, you know what, that is okay. It's not unconstitutional to require a smallpox vaccine. So Jacobson was invoked a few months ago as a concern to masks, but it's even more appropriate now because now we're talking about vaccines, just like they were talking about vaccines back during the actual case, Jacobson versus Massachusetts. So don't take my word for it. Let's go to the text. Let's consider what the U.S. Supreme Court said about the propriety of requiring vaccinations back in 1905. Here's what the court said. I'll read from our article. And the first words are mine. I'll let you know when I'm quoting the court. In Jacobson, the court upheld a smallpox vaccination requirement in Cambridge, Massachusetts. The court ruled that the requirement didn't violate Jacobson's right to liberty or, quote, the inherent right of every free man to care for his own body and health in such way as to him seems best, close quote. The court added that, quote, there are manifold restraints to which every person is necessarily subject for the common good. On any other basis, organized society could not exist with safety to its members, close quote. And this last couple sentences, these are mine and my daughter's. From this we can discern that the ideals of limited government do not absolve us of our social obligation to protect each other. We do not have a constitutional right to infect our neighbors. So there's your legal basis for why compulsory vaccinations are okay under the Constitution. Question then becomes, what of it? What's going to happen? Can we expect to see mass vaccination mandates? I would suggest not. I would say not. I would predict not. Why? You saw what happened with masks, right? I mean, that didn't go well. A lot of controversy. And look what Texas and Florida just did in terms of making mask mandates illegal. That's a real problem. So as it concerns vaccinations, I can't fathom any states would want to take the chance to go there. And that's really too bad because we need it. But I can't imagine it happening. So what can we take away from our discussion today? Well, I think the takeaway is that we need to ourselves encourage our friends and neighbors to get vaccinated. We need to encourage our friends and neighbors to encourage their friends and neighbors to get vaccinated, because we need to reach that herd immunity, or we're going to go right back to where we were a few months ago, as we've begun doing. And that is your quick and sobering and important vaccination shot of legal wellness for today. If you want to learn more, please subscribe to my website, my YouTube channel. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I will keep putting out good legal content to enhance your legal wellness and keep you all safe and well out there. Thanks so much, everybody. See you soon.